Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Rock the Mic. Last week we had a very lively discussion. Most things were in the comments, and we had a few people who called in. This week I'm hoping that we can make it one better. I'm hoping that we can have a lot more people calling in. So before we get started, let's cue the music, guys. Welcome. Yes, here we are again. Here we are again. I'm hoping, guys, that the time change didn't put you off. It certainly did for me, and I should have specified 9:30 daylight saving time so people in Jamaica could get ready. But let's do part two, guys. Last week we discussed who would be better, JLP or the PNP, and honestly, guys, it's like, oh my God, Jamaica is a polarized society when it comes to politics and these two political parties. I mean, you could step outside and ask people, what's the weather like today? And the JLP man would say, hey, it's sunny, it's bright. And the PNP guy would look at the same weather conditions and say, oh my God, it's bleak, it's gonna rain. So that's where we have gotten to in our politics. And that's where I want your input. I want to hear from you guys who are on the ground, who are at ground zero. What do you see happening? What do you think? Because no two people from the parties think alike. There are people who would say, well, the PNP has wrecked Jamaica, and there are people who would say this JP government is the best ever. I want to know the truth. And for me, staying all the way up here in Florida, I wouldn't be able to make a fair assessment. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? So, guys, last week we had one number. We had a free WhatsApp number, 347 225 4654. This week I've added another number. It's a Google Voice number. It's a Google Voice. That means you may use a little credit to make this call. But if you're in the States, this is the number for you. It's 407 479 8517. That's a Google Voice number. The free WhatsApp call is 347 225 4654. Unlike last week when we had some callers who stayed on for a very long time, no, this week I would like you to limit your call to say 5 minutes. 5 minutes max. That is what I'd love to see. A 5 minute call and then you get off so somebody else can get a chance to make that call. So if there's anybody there listening this early who the time change didn't mess up, could you put something in the comment for me to let me know what's the audio like? Is my voice coming through okay? Is it punching through all right? Is it too high? Is it too low? Let me know. So with looking at these two guys, Mark Golding and Andrew Holness, Holness being the current prime minister, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you guys. What are you thinking as we go into this election cycle? And I've seen in the Gleaner election maybe June or July. So it's coming down to crunch time for these two parties. And I'm very curious. I want to know what's going on there to see how far out of touch we in the States are. So if there's anybody listening at the moment, come on in and let me know. I see a couple people in YouTube. If you want, or I'm asking you, contact a friend and let them know, hey, log on and let's get going. So it's either on my Facebook page or my YouTube Rock the Mic channel. ROCDAMIC. We want to hear what you guys think about the upcoming elections. Okay? I hope we can have bigger participation as we had last week. I know some of you out there listening, and please don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to come in and give your 2 cents worth, or as somebody else would say, quat is worth. I mean, some of the young ones would know what a quat is anyway, but fine, let's get going. Is there anybody who wants to get in the chat first and post something? People's National Party versus the Jamaica Labour Party. And reading the Glean off late, I'm seeing that Mr. former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson is putting his hat basically in the arena. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys agree with him? What's your assessment of PJ? During PJ's 14-year tenure, what did you actually think? What do you think? How do you compare like PJ and say a Porsche? What do you think? Come on, guys, don't be afraid. Put something in the chat and let's get going. In fact, let me make sure this chat is actually working. Let me make sure it's working. Let me try and put something in there first. I see some people on Facebook. I want to know if they're okay. Yes. Chat works. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me properly? Are you seeing the video okay? Let me know where you're listening from. Let me know where you're watching from. Is it in Jamaica, in Kingston, in St. Mary? Is it here in the States? Let me know. Next week, I'm hoping to do something that's more geared towards St. Mary. Hoping to do something that's more geared towards St. Mary as we discuss the different constituencies in the parish and the different politicians who will be running. I'm hoping that can be interesting. And please don't forget, if you can think of a topic that would be interesting, hey, drop me a line, guys. Drop me a line. Just put it in the comment section. If you can think of a topic which would be worth our discussing, fine, I'm all for it. And by the way, guys, this channel is more about you than about me. It's not me telling you this, telling you that. I want to find out from you. I want to be informed by you because you are living it at this moment. I am way over here reading the papers every morning, but I'd love for you guys to really fill us in because I'm not the only one. There are hundreds of members of the diaspora who are basically in the dark. And as some people in Jamaica say, the news we get is just hearsay. We get hearsay, I'd like it from the horse's mouth. So, come on in. Nobody brave enough to venture into the chat room and post a comment. Golding Honest. Golding Honest. Can somebody clarify for me those statements made by the Minister of Finance, Ms. Favour Williams? Can somebody clarify those? And if you'd like to come in, like to call and discuss it, fine. Let's go. Let's rock with this. Give me a call, guys. WhatsApp 347-225-4654. Google Voice 407-479-8517. And just to touch on some current affairs, guys. Okay, here we have somebody here, Mr. Aaron, saying, hearing you loud and clear from all the way from Connecticut. What's the weather like up there, Mr. Aarons? What's the weather like? I guess you like that cold thing. I don't. I don't. Yes, Val, could you just tell us what the temperature is like? Any snow in the forecast? So calling all the way, listening all the way from Connecticut. Thanks for logging on, Mr. Aarons. I know you are in touch with Paul. It's lousy. That doesn't that doesn't tell me anything, sir. It's lousy. Some people like sunshine. Some people hate it. Some people like rainy weather. Others hate it. But guys, I'd love to hear from every one of you. What do you think about this whole political thing? Just to not to get off topic, but I don't know how others feel, but I was a bit disappointed with the response to that game with is it Inter Milan against Cavaliers? I can't believe Jamaicans sat there in the stadium and cheered for a foreign team. I cannot believe it. I don't care who the heck was playing on that foreign team. You owed it to Cavaliers and the Jamaica to cheer for Cavaliers. Come on. Come on, man. I was disappointed. I was disappointed. If I were there and paying my money to get in, I'm cheering for the home team. I'm cheering for the home team. I don't care who else is out there playing. And guys, if you're gonna put in comments, please keep your comments respectable. Let's not slander anybody. But the chat is open. You can start commenting. PJ, Portia, what do you guys all think? Okay, it's cold, damp, and overcast. But I think, Val, as long as there's no snow in the future, fine. Hearted, love every time. Yes, Mr. Elvi. How you doing, man? Glad to have you on, sir. So, Elvi, from your comment, sounds like you're in the Jamaica Labour Party. Tell me, Cornel, if you want to call in, come on, man. Tell me, why do you think the JLP deserves a third term? If you think they deserve a third term, why? What have they done so far that excites you, that satisfies you? Why wouldn't it be good for the People's National Party to get a turn after being out there in the wilderness for 10 years? What do you think, Cornel? Don't be afraid to call, man. I'll give you 5 minutes on the call. I'll just let you go ahead and tell us what do you see, what do you think, what are you hoping for, and what do you think your Prime Minister can, where do you think he can really take this? Okay. Yes, Cornel, glad to have you here. And Cornel, can you just say where you're watching from? Where are you watching from, Cornel? Would love to know that. But guys, don't be afraid. If you make a call, I promise I ain't gonna tell them who it is, unless you want to announce that this is blah blah blah. We're not gonna shoot you down. We listen to you. Then somebody else can call and refute what you said, or concur with it. But this is an open floor, guys. Open floor. We are most of us are learning from each other. So in the chat, it automatically puts in some things like welcome and where you're listening from, where you're watching from. I can't believe some of these listeners are afraid to put something in the chat or make a call. Remember, the WhatsApp call is free. The WhatsApp call is free. I have finally figured out how to get it done. Yes, Elvi, yelling up your virgin. Yeah, finally figured out how to get that call thing going. But I would really love for some of you guys, because listen, I know there are a lot of people out there who are very vocal, who will chat up a storm. So don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. You come on and you say your piece. I'll give you 5 minutes maximum. If you want to do it for 2 minutes or a minute. So if you're a JLP, why does Mr. Honest and his party deserve a third go round? Are you satisfied with what they've done? Do you think he can rise above what he has done so far? If you're a People's National Party member, tell me, why should the JLP step aside, really, and give the reins to the People's National Party? What is it you think your People's National Party can accomplish better than the JLP is doing? And guys, I try and stay right down the middle. Neither for one party or the other. I just want to hear what you guys think, so later on I will be able to make an informed decision. So I want to hear from both sides. I just don't want the huff and the puff and the loud talking. Some people, when they're losing an argument, they get loud, and that's when they think they're winning. No, I want to hear, if you say, hey, party number one is better, give me your reasons. That's what I'm interested in, the reasons. I'm not just interested in loading or time come. That means nothing to me, really. Give me your reasons why you think your party is the better party. But like I said, I was reading where Mr. PJ Patterson saying some things. What do you think is going on with PJ? Is it just sour grapes, or is he really upset that he didn't get the respect he thought he deserved? What do you think? And with the PNP, I worry. Why is Portia so quiet? Why not roll Portia out on the campaign trail? That's what you think they would do, but can Honest do it? Can Honest do it? I've spoken to several Jamaicans who tell me, hey, the JP ones say this is the man. The PNP people, they blast him. So I cannot get an accurate assessment of this gentleman. I try and read everything I can read, but one journalist will say this, another say that. In fact, the PNP saying that all the journalists are in the pockets of the JLP. I don't know who to believe. I'd love for somebody to just come on, dial the number and let's get going. Dial and let's get going. Free WhatsApp call. If you're in the States and you want to use the Google Voice 407 479 8517. Okay, here we have somebody saying, why shouldn't jail third term? But hey, give me your reasons, Colonel. Come on, Colonel, man. Give me your reasons. Don't just tell me third term. Why? Why do they deserve this third term? Is it that you can't bother with all the problems that come with a change in regime? What has the JLP done, Colonel, that makes you wanna, hey, load up again for the third term? Come on, let me know. Don't just guys. I just don't want to tell me, oh, third term. Why? That's my take on this thing. I need you guys to tell me why. I can't tell you whether they're right or wrong. I need one of you to come on and tell me why. Then somebody else comes on and refutes your claim. And we can get a nice little discussion going. If you want to call, I'll give you a maximum 5 minutes to hear your views. I'll have you put your views out there for 5 minutes. If you want to do it in one or two, you want to say just one sentence, fine. Last week I had callers on for a long time because I didn't know if anybody was calling, so I organized for three people to just, hey, speak for as long as you want. But now that I know the system can work, I'm inviting you to call. Remember, WhatsApp, free, FREE. And we all love freeness, so you ain't got to pay nothing. As long as you have that internet connection, come on. Put on the TikTok and just give me a call and let's work on this. Anybody, somebody, dying to get that first phone call. As we say in Jamaica cricket, make a brook the ducks with the first phone call. But why is it that these two gentlemen, Golding and Honest, why once you mention their names, it's so polarizing. It's either love or hate. And you know what I'd love to hear? I'd love to hear a JLP person tell me something good that the PNP has done. And vice versa. I've never heard a PNP person say, hey, you know what? The JLP is good at this. Or I've never heard a JLP say, hey, yes, I got to give the PNP props for doing XYZ. It's always a quarrel, always a controversy. Who came up with the idea first? You stole my idea. I don't get that. And I don't get that. And for example, I read where the PNP saying that, hey, they're not pushing out their ideas until it's close to election. That makes no sense. How are people to make a conscious, informed decision? If I don't know your policies, if you're going to hide them, how do you set me to make a decision on who to vote for? And they're afraid that the other party is going to copy their ideas. Oh, come on. You push your ideas out there, and you drum your ideas, reason with people, let them know what you plan to do. Everybody's gonna steal everybody's ideas, but can you gain the trust of the people? Will you gain the trust of the people? And right now, I don't know who seems to be winning when it comes to the court of public opinion. I don't know. I can't put a finger on it. And I'm depending on you guys to do this for me. What do you think of the performance of Honest? What about his Minister of Finance, Ms. Fable Williams? Can somebody explain that whole pro box thing to me? Please? Can somebody call in and explain this entire pro box thing to me, please? I know you can do it. Come on, somebody. What is this whole pro box saga about? And I've seen with the JLP now increasing the income tax threshold. Is this legit or it's just a ploy for votes? These are the things I want to hear from you guys. These are the things I want to hear from you guys. Is it just an election ploy or is it something that they had worked out long ago and now they're pushing it out to people? If it's a ploy, do you think the electorate will fall for it? Yes or no? What about this whole thing about the US saying they will revoke the visas of leaders who power in Cuba? Do you think that would ever happen in Jamaica? Do you think any of the Jamaican leaders, whether it's on PNP or the JLP side, would you think they would voluntarily give up their visa? What do you think, guys? Do you think any of our leaders would do that? As I hear Mia Motley from Barbados, and I think it's a guy from Antigua, say, yeah, take your visa and shove it. But we will join hands with Cuba. And for anybody who is into this geopolitics, why is the USA so ticked off by Cuba? This little Caribbean island. You get in bed with Russia, you get in bed with North Korea, China, and you're afraid of this little speck in the Caribbean? Because what is it? Because they had the balls to defy you? Come on. Most of my viewers tonight seem to be very silent, very quiet, very reticent. They don't want to say anything. I don't know if I'm up against some big sporting event tonight. I don't think so. So don't be afraid, guys. Do not be afraid. JLP, PNP. Who would win if the election were called, say, tomorrow? I'm looking at a few polls that said the PNP has basically slipped. Either they slipped or the JLP is catching up. What do you think? Is it a slippage or the JLP really coming back at them? And do you think having the support of the base is all that important now, or is it to get the ones who are undecided? What do you think? I know some of you listening are into politics and can explain this thing much better. So if you just make that call, guys. 347-225-4654. That's a free WhatsApp call. You can't have it any better. Free, 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 free. So, like it's coming to okay. PJ is the only that sends what? All Jamaican blood pressure up. Tax. He's a wrecking ball. And the best of the risers. Okay, so you think PJ is a man who just tax. What do you think okay, when PJ, though that he's gone, apart from this tax, what is his legacy? Cornel, what do you think is PJ's legacy? Do you think he can ever be mentioned in the same sentence as, say, Michael Manley? And how would you compare PJ to an Eddie Seaga? See, I'm making these topics as wide as possible just so somebody can come in and, make a phone call. What do you actually think of PJ? What's his legacy? When you think of PJ, what's the first thing beside taxes that comes to your mind? And for people in the US, members of the diaspora, two of the main things we are worried about. Yes, listen, most of us aren't going to live over in the US forever. Most of us have the intention of coming back home. I know I do. But some of the things that worry us, or two of the main things that worry us is one, not so much a crime. A lot of people would say, oh, yeah, yeah, we're worried about crime. Yeah, we do. But we're thinking about the health services. That's the main thing on returning residents' mind. Because returning residents are not generally in their 30s or 40s. We're 60-year-old and up. And we're at that point where your health is paramount. And that's one of the things we're worried about. What do you think either party can do to alleviate our fears? Second one is crime. Yes, we are worried about crime. We want to know what's going to be done to keep the level of crime down. We see where the murders have been down. This year is one of our lowest years for recorded murders. Can the JLP keep that up? Or, okay, they know it's election coming, so let's cut down on the murders, and as soon as election is done, boom, we mount up again. What can the JLP do about that if they win? And were they to be the winners, the PNP? The PNP were to say win this election, how will they combat crime? Is there anything different they would do? Is there anything different from what the JLP is doing that the PNP would implement? These are some of the things I would love to find out. Okay, so guys, welcome. And if this is your first time here, if you are on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. In fact, I would appreciate it if you are currently on Facebook. I'd appreciate it if you go across, join the YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll get a notification when anything new comes up. A lot, not to digress, but when it comes to subscribing to a channel, a lot of people are into this number of subscriptions. Oh, I have 1,000, I have 10,000. Yes, that number is okay, it's important, but what's the sense of having 100 people subscribe to the channel and only 10 watch? Honest to God, I'd rather 10 people subscribe, but 20 log in every week and watch. I want the eyeballs there. I don't want you to just click subscribe and leave, because there are many who just click subscribe and they never return. But if you want to, go ahead, subscribe. I'm glad to have you here. So whenever I put out anything new, it pops up on your in your live feed. Okay, we are on now for what, 30 minutes, and I know some people may have been caught off by the time, and they may just be coming in. If you're just coming in, I'm happy to have you. Garfield Waller here with Rock the Mic. And part two, continue from last week, guys. Golding, Honest, JLP, PNP. Which one would be the better government for Jamaica? Do you think the JLP are firmly entrenched and it's going to be a tough time getting them out? Do you think Mr. Honest can just, being the leader, he can just pip PNP at the winning post? Or do you think the PNP has enough ammunition to really put the JLP back on their heels and drive them out of office? This is going to come down to the voters. Last couple of elections, at the by-elections, we had low voter turnout. I doubt if that's going to be the case this time. Because to me, I think this is going to be one of our most important elections ever. Do you think Jamaica is on the way up? Do you think the government is on the right track? What do you think? Do you think the PNP can push them, can make more progress than the JLP is doing? These are some of the things I'd love to hear from you. So please, when it comes to a phone call, don't be afraid. I know some people are listening. Some people told me, oh, I wanted to call, but I'm not a talker. Yes, you are. I know you talk. I don't say why you're afraid. Listen, I promise I won't call your name. Nobody's gonna know it's you. The phone rings, I take the call. I say, yes, madam, or yes, sir. I'm not gonna call your name. Nobody sees who calls. All they'll hear is a ring, unless you have a voice that's so distinctive that everybody's gonna know, oh yeah, that's so and so calling. Nobody will know. You'll be virtually anonymous. So don't be afraid. Give me that call. The WhatsApp phone is waiting. And if you're calling on WhatsApp, you can't call and really listen to the program at the same time. We're going to get that awful feedback. So if any of the people who called last week, hey, care to call in again? Come on. I'll accept your call. I'll give you 5 minutes. Don't want to give anybody, I don't want anybody monopolizing the whole earwaves. I'll give you 5 minutes. Well, guys, I'm trying to make this program more interesting. One of my dreams would be to be able to add music to it. And I'm trying to get around that copyright thing. I'll be willing to even pay to get this, to be able to play a couple songs here and there to break up the monotony. If anybody knows the right channels to go through, please let me know. Please let me know because I'm dying to get this thing going. Please give me a. I know a lot of you know about this thing, how to get it done. So please, come on, guys. Are you gonna let me go for 45 minutes without getting one single call? Nah, that's not right. I need somebody to call in. Anybody? I know some of you listening are what should I say? Weekend politicians, armchair politicians. I know you have a lot of ideas. But like I said, nobody's gonna if you put something in the chat, they may see your name, but if you call, no. But while you're here, just hey, hit that subscribe button if you care to. If you're on Facebook, like it, like the channel, like the broadcast, and share it with a friend. Share it with a friend. If you have a friend right now, Jamaican friend, hey, just shoot them the link and tell them log on. And we can have a lively discussion. Because this election impacts your future also, my future. Whether you're in Jamaica or not, this is gonna impact us. It may, the wrong decision here in this election could come back and bite us in the butt. So if you plan on voting, let's have information from both sides so we can make an informed decision. Let's not just vote with, hey, you know, diehard PNP. Vote for the head every time. Or my family, total labor right from way back in the 60s. No, I want people to be able to say, hey, this is why I'm voting for the PNP. Have your ideas out there, have your reasons. Or this is why I'm going to vote for the JLP. Make sure your reasons make sense. Don't just go on it by just feelings. I love this leader, or I like how him talk. But do you like what he says? You like this one because a big crowd following him? No, I need you to be more conscious in this. Let's not follow the United States. And just because one person is brash and outspoken, let's make our votes count. Let's not waste them. Let's not waste them, guys. Well, like I said, the turnout is going to be very important. The turnout for this election is going to be very, very important. And I've heard rumors, you know, ever since we're kids, we hear of politicians buying votes, paying people to vote. I hope we won't have a lot of that this election. In fact, I've heard it already started. Not just in the JLP section. I heard it going on in PNP areas too. And guys, like I said, in the coming weeks, I want to get more involved in St. Mary, in that, all those divisions in St. Mary. I'd love to know what's going on. I'd love to know what's going on, especially over by the Arokabesa Bobby Montague division where he lost 3 council seats. I'd love to find out what is he doing to, get them back. As he said, he was beaten by 3 prickers, so we want to see what's going on. Okay, let me see. I think I have a Google voice call coming in. Here we go. Yes, caller. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Waller.
How are you?
I'm all right, man.
You're all right. Okay. How you feel about
Yeah.
this election coming up?
You know, I have not been following up, although I moved back to Jamaica. I thought that now everybody can know who I am. Might as well me say, might as well me say Edwin Wilson.
Well, what, man?
I'm here.
Didn't know you were
Just
back. Didn't know
Buzz
you were
just
back
text
home.
me and say I should log on. So I say I'm
All right.
logging on and I'm on
Didn't
the
know you.
road and
Mm-hmm.
I
How
was
long
like,
now you back? How long now you back in Jamaica?
I'm in America right now.
Mm-hmm.
I moved back to Jamaica 2 years now,
2 years. Okay.
but
Wow.
I've been back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of the little 6 week or 4 week stint that I'm here.
That you're here. Okay.
But yeah, honestly, I have not been following up on elections
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know if because of this country where I'm disillusioned
You just oh,
by
I
all this
understand. I understand. I understand, man.
election thing. Yeah. So I honestly haven't been following up. I hear my siblings talk about the difference, the different parties, but honestly, I'm so occupied in whatever else I'm doing. I've never followed up, so I can't give you an opinion
You can
whichever way.
okay. Fair enough. Let me
Which,
ask you something. When you were in
yeah.
Jamaica, which prime minister did you think did the most for the country? That doesn't mean you think
When
that
I
way
was in
now.
Jamaica, I listen. Jamaica, me and Jamaica been separated for over 30 odd years
Yep.
before the last 2 years. So I only have seen for the last time, for the last couple of years is Andrew. All right.
Okay.
When I left Jamaica, I think who was Prime Minister? Pattison? I don't know, or Siaga, one of them guys. Siaga or Manley, one of them guys. Because
I think it was Siaga at that time.
yeah, it's just 89. 89 was the Prime Minister.
Yeah, we need some we need some political historian here to tell
Yeah,
us who
I don't.
was. Yeah, cause it's a long
Yeah,
rocket time.
yeah. But there's been pros and cons. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So I am not sure, and I'm honestly I have not been a political person, you know. So I don't want to give an opinion. Which way or the other.
Yeah, I
Right
understand
now,
it because me being away, I don't want to say X or X or Y. I want to hear what everybody else
yeah,
thinks.
yeah. I see because right now my biggest thing in Jamaica is the roads. I know the
Oh,
Chinese are
okay.
doing a good job on the highways, but the
But
local roads, I don't know
the
if
roads
it's
bother
the
you.
local, yeah, the local roads. I live deep in the country, and I'll tell you something. The roads are really bad. These guys, I was talking to someone, and I said to them that when I was growing up, they used to have the public works department with these yellow trucks. And as soon as a pothole or the
But
whole
when they
break
patch
out
it,
in the
yeah.
road, they come around and they fix it. The roads were pristine in my time of in the 70s compared to now, which should be, much more modern times. And now the roads are more like donkey trucks because they don't. Yeah, I'm serious.
There's no yeah.
Some places in the country. Yeah. I'm happy about the highways. When I get on the highways, I can go from Montego to Kingston, no problem. But
No problem.
when it comes to my little coming out of my little district,
The local roads are horrible. Yeah.
yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. So that is the issues I have as far as that is concerned. You know.
What do you think
So
about
I'm not.
what do you think about water, crime, health services
Water, as far as I'm concerned, is non-existent. As in my little area.
in your area? Okay.
The water might come and trickle up for a couple of hours and then it's gone again. What
And it's
I
gone again.
do when I was moving back, I got me a pump and I bought a tank
Okay.
to carry water on the back of my truck. So I go to the spring, I
Okay.
pump water from the spring and I pump it into the tanks I have
Into it.
at the house. Yeah, that's how most of the water I get or try to harness the rainwater when there's rain, you know, as far as that is concerned. And it's not only like a little district because sometimes I hear even in Montego Bay, sometimes the water go off and don't come
The
back
water
for a
go up.
while. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
man.
know, so
Boy, it's rough.
um, actually, in St. James lately, I've seen them doing some infrastructure work as far as
Okay.
water. So hopefully there might be an improvement. But I live in Hanover, and
Okay.
the same in pipes that were laying on the side of the roads, not buried or anything like that, from 19 in the 70 72 are the same pipes that are there now. All patched up with, I mean, the
That's
galvanized
great.
pipes patched up with plastic, plastic, because of, you know, every time they break, they use the plastic joints to patch them up.
Well, the more things change, the more they remain the same, man.
Yeah,
The more they remain
yes,
the same.
pretty much, pretty much. But I mean, it's hard. I mean, let's say it's hard going back. Hard for me. I used to live. I mean, I lived in the country, grew up in the country before I moved to St. Mary when I was working over there. When I know you guys. I mean, it was the same way. I mean, I kind of, I know what I was getting back to. It's only that I took with me a whole set of stuff that to make life a little bit easier.
To make life easier.
You know, yeah, make
Yeah,
life
man.
easier.
Yeah, man. There's
Yeah,
some things. There's some things you expect, you know.
yeah,
Hey, Mr. Elby,
yeah,
please, Mr. Elby, please
yeah.
call in and stop the crap. Elby, call in. Yeah,
Huh?
man. No, I'm talking to another guy in the chat here. But it's nice
Oh,
of you to
okay.
call. I'm happy you call. If no, the man who tell about the program, if you would have called, because I know him can talk a lot. I know,
Right.
I know him can talk a lot. So I wonder why the heck
All
him not
right.
call. Yeah, man.
All right.
Glad to hear from you, man, and all the
But
best,
I
buddy.
will, you see, I have a YouTube channel too.
Huh?
You have a YouTube channel going.
Yes. Yeah. It's
All right.
called
Well,
Rock
well,
Man.
let me subscribe to the YouTube thing because I normally don't do. I mean, I post things on Facebook and I don't really scroll through Facebook that much.
Facebook. Okay. I see your
Yeah.
I
So,
see your
but
WhatsApp here.
I go and look up the YouTube channel and
Yeah, man.
subscribe to it and
Yeah, man.
see.
I'll send you.
I'll see the stuff coming.
I'll
So,
send you the
how
link
often
later.
are you on?
Just started again. I'm trying to be on every Saturday night. I'm
Okay.
trying to be on
All right.
every Saturday
That
night at about 9, 10.
that makes sense. All right.
I'm trying to firm up that time.
Yeah.
I don't want to go
All
back
right.
into the
Well,
sports program.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, listen, I'll keep in touch with this um platform and see what we can. I listen. I mean, I listen honestly. Politics is not my thing. I listen to it and
Yeah,
I'll.
me too. I
But
listen.
I
I
really
listen.
don't.
I listen
Yeah,
and I'll try to
because
learn.
like I told you, I'm kind of disillusioned about this from this country. Kind of make me feel like politics is a
Yes,
scam.
politics is. Oh my God, man, it's a bad taste in my
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah. So that's
Yeah,
my
man.
little bit on that.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the call, man. Thank you
No
very much,
problem. No
brother.
problem.
All right, easy, bro. Take care, right?
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. Yeah, man.
All right.
All right.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Come on, Corner. Or anybody else out there, anybody from some school down the country wanna come on and explain what Miss Favor Williams was talking about, this whole pro box saga. Can somebody explain it? And this new tax threshold. Come on, I need a brilliant Jamaican to come on and explain this. Who is putting this one in? Is it who? Try to see the name. Is it Erica? Erica Barnett. Which party is best for Jamaica? Yeah, Erica, tell us now. Erica, can you give us your reasons? Are you saying the JLP is better? Why, Erica? Why? Give us your reasons. Don't just tell me it's because you love the color. Okay, and for that person at an event who can't join in, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but I bet that event you're at, there's free food there, right? I know you're a man who loves to eat. All right, that's something. That's something under the behind the scenes, somebody telling me they're at an event. Let's see what Erica is gonna say. Yes, and Mr. Ennis, watching and listening. You've been away for 25 years. Try visiting as often as is affordable. The developments currently taking place must be credited to the current administration. So you're saying let the JLP continue? You like what they're doing? Okay, you like in all areas, Mr. Ennis. In all areas. In what area do you think they could make an improvement? Jermaine, in what area do you think the JP could improve a bit? So that's Mr. Ennis, good friend of mine, saying he thinks the JP's got it because they're doing good and they should be credited with all the progress going on. So you're gonna, if that horse is, if that horse riding is doing good, why not just stay on it? Yes, Mr. Ennis, is there anything, any area you think they need, they must improve on? Because my fear is that you vote JLP, they put in all this effort just to win the election. And after the election, they just throw up hands because they've got another 5 years. That's my biggest fear. That is my biggest fear. But let me hear your reasons. What area you think they can improve in? Oh, crime. But they have said that crime is at its lowest now. Murders are the lowest it has ever been. That is good news. And Cornell again, John Star. We love politics. We love people. You know, okay. Cornell, just call the number, man. We'll deal with it. Me know you know stammer. Me stammer, all right? Me stammer from your little boy. So if me can chat, please, I know you can. Okay, hold on. We have a WhatsApp call coming in here. Yes, sir. You left your function. Go ahead. How are you doing? How are you? Not hearing him? Hello? Hello, sir? I hope you're hearing me. I'm not hearing you. Okay, let me see if we can get him back again. I think that call dropped a while ago. I think that call dropped. Let's see if we can get him back. Trying to get back that caller. Hello? 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 Let me try the headphones here. Let me see if I can get him back. I'd love to hear from him. I'd love to hear from this gentleman. Hello? Yeah, yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear, sir. How was that? You calling from where? Okay. Okay, I miss it, man. I miss it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. We're listening. We're listening, bro. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Vic Williams. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Wait, that's Julian Robbins you're talking about, right? Mm. Mm-hmm. For retiree. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. people, right? As that family with 10. No, it's not. I, in the presentation. Or let me ask something. Can you explain that whole thing with that favor William was talking about with the pro box? Can you explain that to us, please? Yeah. hmm Okay. Oh, okay. hmm Tongue in cheek. Okay. Okay. hmm hmm Oh, okay. hmm Oh, okay. Okay.
Earlier, the income tax threshold, right?
Okay.
Which it is now proposed by the minister that it will be increased from the present 1.75 million up to $2 million,
Up to
but
two
over a
million.
3-year period, right?
Okay. Good.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, that is a responsible way to do it because she identify where the money is going to come from each of those 3 years.
For each. For each.
On that,
Okay.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was reading that part. Yeah. Go ahead. You continue.
On the other hand, Mr. Golding, I think sometime last year, maybe the year before, he called for it. And this is after he criticized the 1.5 that the JLP put in place. He criticized it as something that is going to burst the budget. But now he found out that it is actually working because it
Working.
was well calculated. What do you think he did? Called for it to be
To
increased
be.
to $3 million.
Okay.
And to date, nobody has heard how he intends to pay for that in the budget,
All right.
right? As far as I'm concerned, Garfield, Jamaicans who experience life under the PNP, right, know exactly what the PNP is offering. And as far as I'm concerned, a person who was associated in the capacity as an advisor to the Minister of Finance that ended up in FinSac has no right to be putting up himself to be Prime Minister of this country.
Wow.
He ought to be ashamed after FinSac destroyed 40,000 jobs, not jobs, businesses. And
Wait.
if you take,
Wait.
the,
Hold on. Is that count accurate?
well,
When
that's the last number I heard. I've heard that number going around. I mean,
when
if it's not 40,000, it could be 39,999, right? The fact of the matter is that quite a number of Jamaican businesses
uh,
had to fold,
had to go on that.
right? And that's not the only thing, scores of Jamaicans couldn't find any way out of the wickedness that is FinSac, and they actually ended up expiring themselves. That which is a politically correct way of saying they committed suicide, right? And that same man is now putting up himself to be prime minister of this country, and there are people who are willing
hmm
to support him,
point
What kind of thinking is that?
I am worried about, like I said last week, I'm worried about this widening chasm between JLP and PNP. If one is so bad, why do you have people supporting them? If one is so bad as you
Well,
said, why do we
you
have
know,
people who stick with them?
Garfield,
Mm,
when I spoke to you last week, right? I started out asking a favor of you
yeah, I
that
remember.
whoever caller that comes in or that calls into your program, if you could just pose a question to them for me and throw it out to the wider listenership.
Mm,
Just ask them to name one project
one,
that
what's
the
one
PNP
project?
was able to complete out of the billions that they borrowed over the 23 years in government, right? And I'm saying that to say to you, the reason why the PNP was able to stay in power that long is because they were misusing all those loans. Okay? There are people as we speak who collect government pension who has never been into a government office from the day them born.
Could have did him. Oh
They were
my
merely
God.
put on the payroll. They were merely put on the payroll, my friend. Okay? So you talk about a widening difference between the PNP and the JLP.
Mm-hmm.
The JLP has proven time and time and time again. Excuse me. And I mentioned to you last week that the stark difference between the two parties lies in that project over in St. Thomas, next door to you, the Morant Bay Urban Center,
Urban Center.
right?
Okay.
Which housed that property housed the Goodyear factory, which was closed down
Yeah.
under the JLP. And ever since it was closed down, the PNP being in power, they commissioned several consultations,
Mm-hmm.
feasibility studies, groundbreaking ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
And Gavi, you want to tell me that over several decades they weren't even able to put one block or a length of steel into the ground?
Into the ground. Okay.
Right. And today, as we speak, the beautiful Morant Bay Urban Center is scheduled to be opened in a few weeks under this JLP government.
Okay.
That to my mind emphasizes the difference between the two parties.
Between them. All right, sir. Listen, I'm going to take another call here,
Mhm.
and I'm going to throw that
Yes, sir.
question. I'm going to throw that
Throw that
question. All
question.
right.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Yeah, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Okay.
You can you
Okay,
can hit, you
Gaffy.
can head back to your function now, sir. All right. And don't eat too much. Don't eat too much.
I'm going to be listening to you. All right, my
All
brother.
right, buddy. Thanks for
Okay.
calling
Good.
in, man. Thank
Good.
you.
Good.
Okay. Wow. Now that was a staunch JLP supporter. I'm challenging a PNP man now to come in and refute that. I need a person from the People's National Party now to come in and let's hear your point about it. So Cornell LV saying Julian Roberts is just in bad company. Wrong crowd, wrong time. Okay, and Erica is saying Julian's portion of his presentation on the banks resembles FinSac. Oh my God, that's tough. Okay, and Erica thinks that the PNP stayed in power because of race, the color of people's skin. Wow. Any PNP person who wants to come back at that? Anybody from the People's National Party? Anybody who supports the People's National Party? Because what that caller laid down some serious things. He's saying that he's challenging the PNP to name one project completed by the PNP over their 23 years from all the funds they received. Name one project. Any PNP supporter who wants to take that on. But like I said, you can't get people from different parties agreeing on anything. And Mr. Ennis again, PNP has not presented a convincing argument as to the short, medium, or long-term plans for moving away from status quo. They accuse, they blame, they shame is all I'm hearing from the PNP. Just not good enough. My words are those of the former firm supporter of manly people. Please post a number. Okay. Mr. Ennis, my WhatsApp number is 347-225-4654. If you want to call a Google, on Google Voice, it's 407-479-8517. And I'm wondering if Mr. Aarons is willing to, if he's willing to call. Let me just see if he's still awake. Let's see if this man is still awake. Let's see if he's still there.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad. Sorry about the
Good.
weather. Sorry about the weather in Connecticut.
No, you doing it. You still live here, but I mean, here's my question. I've been out of the loop as far as Jamaican politics is concerned for the longest while.
Mm-hmm.
But my two questions are: does it really matter that Mark Golding was not born in Jamaica? And secondly,
Mm-hmm.
does it matter that there is no transparency when it comes to say and and the wholeness not declaring where he got his money from to buy his house? These things don't make. Those are
Wait,
my questions.
go again. Repeat them again. You're breaking up. First one
Um,
is, does it matter if he's born in Jamaica or not?
yes, Mark Golding.
Mark Golding.
They say he's born in Jamaica, and then the thing is, we still don't know where Andy Holland got his money to make that big house. So, are these things a factor, or we just overlook them and say, let's keep it going?
Boy, I don't know why it makes such a difference. To me, the man running for prime minister, I don't care where the hell he's born. I don't care where the heck he's born. With the transparency, though, I think that part's important. I want to know, I'd love to know where all that money come from. Is it something you earned legitimately? Fine. If you earned it by legitimate means, I don't care if you born living at Buckingham Palace, fine. But people, you heard what the man said. Does it matter that Mark Golding was born somewhere else in another country? And does it matter that Andrew Holness didn't declare all his income? What do you guys think? What do you guys have to say about that? Anybody wants to take that on? You're not hearing the caller? Oh, let's see here. You're not hearing the caller.
Yeah, the guy before I wasn't hearing him either, so until it very end.
I don't know. This thing should be pushing through right here. Said it's going through. Said the voice is going through. Speak again for me, Val. Speak again. Sorry to use your name, but let me
And
hear
my
you.
question: does it matter that Rowling was not born in Jamaica? And secondly, does it matter that there's no transparency when it comes to Andrew Holness building a house in, I think, Beverly Hills
Mm-hmm.
and clearing his assets, where he's got his money from? I've been out of the loop as far as Jamaican politics,
Politics is concerned. Mm-hmm.
but these are questions, I've had, for a while back.
Yeah, Eric, I don't know why you're not. I don't know why you're not hearing Val. It says the sound is going through, but Val is saying that it shouldn't matter, or does it matter that Golden was born somewhere else, and does it matter that Andrew has this humongous house in Beverly Hills? What do you guys think about? Is that something that's important to you? Whether the man was born here or not, whether he was born across the Atlantic, why is that of such importance? Why is that of such importance? Is there anybody who wants to put an answer in the chat? Anybody? And Cornell LB saying the most honorable Edward Siaga. Wait, let's clear this up. Where was Siaga born? Can a JLP supporter tell me where was Siaga born? Was it Jamaica or overseas? Where was Eddie born? And somebody earlier was saying that it's all about color or whatever, the color of your skin. I'm hoping we would be. You know what? I'm hoping we would be past that by this. I'm hoping we would be past that. But anybody wants to put that in the chat?
Am I still on?
Yeah, I'm very
I
honest.
don't know that works because Michael Manley wasn't exactly a black man, and he was very popular, maybe the most popular guy. I mean, prime minister. You
Popular,
know,
to, popular to some. Trust me. If you talk to some
so,
people, oh my God. If you,
different. Right, Colonel, he thinks that Manley was the best prime minister ever, and he was very light skinned.
well, it depends on who you talk to, because I've heard a lot of Jamaicans say, a lot of people say Michael was the one who basically destroyed Jamaica. So it depends on who you talk to. It depends on who you
Now,
talk to.
now we know that that was a sabotage coming from across
most,
the
most,
we
oh,
know that.
let me tell you, a lot of people don't see it that way. And Erica says, no, Siaga was not born in Jamaica. However, he renounced his overseas citizenship. So I guess that's what people want Golding to do. They want him to be honest. I guess they want him to just come clear with the whole matter. That hey, I was born here. I was, I guess that's the whole thing. I guess that's the whole thing that they're onto. Honesty. Be forthright. Come right out and say it. Come right out and say it. But
In the long run, it probably doesn't matter because if you remember not so long ago, the Peruvian prime minister or premier or president was Japanese.
oh,
He was
yeah,
Peru,
it was Peruvian. Yeah.
and he was not Peruvian. He was from Japan. Then stuff happened and they had to kick him out and all kinds of stuff.
Well,
So,
listen, man. We are a lot of Jamaicans are always gotta use this race card thing. To me, it don't matter. Honest to God, it doesn't matter. And who is this? G. Roy saying Michael Manley wrecked Jamaica in 72 to 1980. LV saying Michael wasn't a black man. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It's a strange thing. We get caught up in this whole race thing. I don't believe it. I believe, listen, if the man can run the company or the country, good, fine. I honestly don't care where the bejesus he's from. But Van, thanks for the call here, man. You're brave enough to call in. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it.
no,
Anybody
all right.
else? Anybody else? Let me see if I can fix this whole thing with the people not hearing. Let's see here. The calls is coming through. I have a WhatsApp system here coming in on. Okay, I think I see the bloody problem. Okay. Yeah, so this thing about race and color. Race and color. Oh my God, man. I think we as Jamaicans, hey, what's our motto? Out of many, one people. I don't see where the color of a man's skin or where he was born. The man says he's a Jamaican, all right, okay. But I guess people want him to be forthright with it. Just like they would like honest to say, hey, here's my bank account. I get X amount from so, X amount from so. Check it up. All the numbers match. I'm free, I'm clear, I'm honest. Okay. Erica again, Michael Manley started the wrecking of JA. PJ cemented. All right. Erica, I'm going to put you on the spot. Could you tell me one good thing that the PNP did under Michael? Just put in the chat. One good thing that you credit the PNP with. And I like a PNP person to put in the chat one good thing that they credit the JLP with. And my first caller, his question still stands. One project completed by the PNP over 23 years with the monies that they received. Two challenges there, guys. And anybody else wants to call in, let's rock and let's roll with this. Let's try it. Come on, guys, we can do this. We can do this. PNP, JLP. Anybody can think of something or some area that the JLP, if they win again, should improve on. And Tell me what areas do you want the PNP to make a priority if they win? Cornell is saying, hey, we're not racist, but we're not blind, and they taught they taught us colors. Cornell, you're taking this thing, oh God. And Erica says she just does not trust our government. Okay, let's try this one and see now. Yes, Clark. No,
Rock the mic.
Mike, this I hope you can hear me. If people, if you're hearing this, gentleman, let me know. Yes, boss. What are you saying now?
So yeah, say now.
Not much, man. Go ahead.
Me me hear you talk about the favor Williams thing a while ago.
Yes. You wanna give me a good explanation of that whole thing?
People misconstrue the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The first 20 new customer,
Mm-hmm.
and them I get the benefit there. And everybody.
The first one, 20,000. Is it
So
20,000?
people who new
Mm-hmm.
prepaid,
Okay. So it's
and
not
then I will
everybody.
get that
It's
incentive
not
there.
everybody.
No, man.
What's the number again?
So when you hear people are,
What's the number? The first how much?
come again?
The first how many?
20,000.
First 20,000. Okay.
And then set aside 1 billion for deal with wiring and inspection.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I know for everybody do that.
Enough for everybody. Okay. All right.
But you just use that thing they know with the pro box. Alright, consider this now.
Mm-hmm.
A man live a country. And after all that 3 years there, him save up that 72,000 there. Him can start a little chicken farm around in backyard.
Mm-hmm.
3 year time him buy him car.
Okay.
The thing is, the government say why them in this position where them can fix this and do that and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they practice fiscal discipline. People need to practice that too.
Fiscal. True. You're right. Mm-hmm. Can't spend
That's
money.
one of the problem. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
You see the next thing where they life use and them time, crime. Biggest political football.
Okay.
Alright. You see the period where Michael Manley and Siaga rule, that about from 72 to about 92, 93.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Less people dead than in the period from Mr. Patterson period. So check that.
So you're saying under Michael and Siaga we had less deaths.
Less dead. The only anomaly in that period in 1980 when we have about 899.
Okay.
Yeah, man. When you look on the figures then from even say the latest 1991, 26 out of every 100,000 average out to, and from it step over in the 90s, and for the first time when you go over 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
you know look back again. For the first time in the 90s when we touched over 1,000,
1,000.
that's about 97, 98. We don't look back again.
So
It's a problem we have for the last 32 years.
well, yeah, it's a big problem. So let me ask you, whoever take over the government in a first election, what do you think they can do to really bring down crime? Do you have any solutions? Any ideas?
All right. To fight crime, you need drastic measure. And you see, anytime you start take drastic measure, you have to have some civil society group and start talk about this and talk about that. And when you see people are dead in the street, you never see them come out and say, well, boy, we need to put a stop to this.
Okay.
So it's just a little hypocritical thing we really go on right. So to deal with crime, you need drastic measure. If I even some my time of the curtail freedom ordinary people to. But
Okay.
it's
So
a man say we have to tame.
you have to team. So in like, yes, like you say, curtailing some freedoms.
Then remember that thing will affect everybody, so
It affects
everybody
everybody.
have to get on board. So everybody have to get on board. So that means that if you have to give up a certain thing for your time to achieve the goal, that's how it go.
So you go, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. So when you listen to both parties today, in fact, from what I understand, the PNP has not really released their ideas and their platform. So if the election were to be held, let's say, next week, how do you see it going?
All right. Me tell from the one say me a no P.
All
The
right.
only the only voting me know about you in a class and then put up John and Mary and say which one to monitor.
Which one to monitor,
I will
right?
put up where and I will counter. That I closest me know to
Close to come
voting.
to election.
Mm-hmm. But when I look on some of the utterance them, I listen to what people are say. Cause if me not mistaken, I think near the shadow man say we need to pay attention to the party workers them. Oh, you gone in the national parliament and talk about political workers. Political workers they work with political party. That means you fi pay them.
Money I drop
That
somewhere.
means you must have a system in your constituency where a percentage of your salary go to a constituency fund and you do that yearly cause you know say it's a 5-year cycle. Away from that, you're supposed to fundraise to add money to that fund. That means when you left, if I go one term I do, you left a money in that fund there to help them people there when run around and help to put you which party you there.
All right.
You can't
I hear you.
you can't use taxpayer money and deal with them thing there. No. Yeah, one next part to them say money for content creator. People that create content, then just want to have a good following and subscription and thing that they can make money for themselves.
Right.
So me not say. So me not see the it just a handout thing for try to sway people mind. I know say people love things.
Yes,
And I just
sir.
who can offer the better things them. Mm-hmm. Even one next thing with it, one school feeding program and thing out. It's hard because if you are give everybody and thing that will cause an extreme whole pavilion that year. Cause school year are roughly one 7 month. So we are talking about maybe around next year you have 50 billion again you have to find you know which way you can find that. And that are just at the lowest end. Cause we don't know where you go and give the people and feed. How expensive that are gonna be again. But maybe you just could and put a figure to it and work out something.
Or something out. All right.
But the thing is right now, the 70s, them did have a thing in Jamaica.
Yep.
Right me not think I think that thing there really necessary now. Or if I know that, people end up really disingenuous. So me I leave it because say you have people if him say if him going to one exam and him ask what the Prime Minister in a put Mr. Holness. The easiest mark when sure
Yes.
So other level the people they right
Right.
you me tell you from last week say it's a madness time man. People just say things worse when they mean a crowd to be a part of a crowd. More time if you join one away and you're in a race, it's a different reasoning
A
here than
different,
when instead of
different reasoning. Okay.
with all time 5, 10, 15 and friend them
Mm-mm. That's what you
Because
mean.
what? Amongst in friend them It's like him no want to show same weak if him a go agree with you. I remember
Okay.
when you die on opposing sides.
Okay.
So it's a form of weakness to agree with your opponent. And that me see in the politics.
All right.
No matter where you see really are going. No sir. That not affect nobody.
Yeah, man.
Everybody just believe say for them, if I feed them side,
For freedom side.
they can do it better.
Yeah. That's what that's what I'm realizing. Anyway, look, I'm going to let you do
Mm-hmm.
know another man I try calling here. Listen, man.
Yeah man.
Thanks for your input, man. Thanks for your input. Respect.
All right, next
All
week.
right. Easy.
All right.
Okay. So we're looking at some of the comments here. Erica is agreeing with George. Okay, about the interviewer twisting Mrs. Williams's comments, and Erica seems to think that most of the criminal element is aligned to the PNP. Is it, is that a completely fair statement? You don't think JLP is aligned with the criminal element too? Come on, guys, let's have some fair discussion here. Mm-hmm. Some fair discussion, but from what I'm understanding, Miss Bennett and Mr. Elliott, why was it that she went into that interview? Anybody knows why was it? Was it because she wanted to really clarify what she was saying, or what? Jumped in an interview where, from what some people are saying, it was basically an ambush. And PNP people, let me ask you, why you roll out PJ Patterson on the campaign? Why? Do you think it's a good move? Think it was bad? And for the PNP again, if the PNP loses this election, where does that put them? If they lose this election, what happens to them for another couple of cycles? Who is the leader in waiting? If the PNP were to lose this one, who is that leader in waiting? Who is that youngster coming up who you'd say, hey, can take over leadership? Any names that pop out at you? Any names that come flying out at you? And somebody here is saying they're hypocrites. Time will tell on them. That's Cornell again. Okay. The question of the Prime Minister's house was put to rest when it was discovered that members of the opposition had houses into which the PM's houses wow, they have houses that big? Jesus. Mm-mm. So the people in the opposition also have big houses. So pot I call kettle black, right? Okay, but this is something I never understand with politicians. Why point fingers at somebody when you're doing the same thing? I have never understood that. Whether it's in Jamaica or here in the US. Why point a finger accusing somebody of something that you yourself are also doing? Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense to me. Next week, sometime I'm trying to get into our St. Mary politics to see, what's going on, where we're headed, where we are headed. Will the PNP do this or will the JLP do that? And Mr. Wong, welcome, sir. Welcome. They should have elected Lisa Hanna back then. Is she completely out of politics? I read where she said she was no longer being representative politics. Is there a chance that Lisa Hanna will return? Anybody has an idea? Is there a chance that Lisa Hanna would make a return? And if she does return, do you think she could really capture this whole thing? Is there anybody else on the horizon that would, work well for the People's National Party? Is there anybody else out there on the horizon that the PNP could turn to? Because I hear people saying if Golding loses this, That's it for him. He's done. Okay, oh, it's my first time here. Listen, bro. Oh, Erica, I'm gonna text you a little and the name is Garfield Waller, Erica. The name is Garfield Waller. Oh my God, Mr. Wan. How can you make an accusation like that? Do you have the facts to back it up, sir? Do you have the facts to back it up, Mr. Wan? Is it that case? And anybody knowledgeable, could you can somebody find out how much does an MP get for his constituency? How much? I'd love to know that figure. How much does an MP receive for his constituency? Or is it dependent on the number of people in that constituency? I would love to find that out because I remember a program one evening. I think it was Pernell Charles was on with Ian Boyne, and I think he was saying that when he gets the money for his constituency, by the time he walks from one end to the other, that money is done. So is this what all politicians are doing instead of working on the infrastructure of their constituency? Are they just handing out money? Are they just handing out money? Is that how it goes? But I remember thank you, Miss Erica. Thanks for subscribing. Good. Yeah, I'd love. Is there anybody who could find that out? How much does an MP get for his constituency? Isn't it? Erica, saying it's about 10 million. Yeah, but I remember Pernell saying by the time he make one walk in his constituency, the money done. So instead of fixing roads or what happened, they just hand out money. This one get a couple thousand, that one get a couple thousand. If the PNP lose the next election, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And and all the king horse and all the king's men, oh my God, they call him man Humpty Dumpty. you Mr. Alvin, how is everything, sir? Glad to have you on. Yeah, so you think if he loses this, he's done. What do you think about Hannah coming in, Abdullah? And the possibility there? Get back 2,000 per month is better than taxing man planning to tax food and raise GCT for education. But with all this, somebody said the PNP finance guy, Julian Robinson, made a reply. Does he have any plans of his own? Does the PNP have any plans when it comes to the financial status? From what the JLP laid out with favor Williams. Yes, the opposition here, they're going to oppose, but do they have any solid plans of their own, how to improve on this? And Cornell is saying, I'd love to know why is it that they cannot campaign on their accomplishment and achievement? That's because there are none on which they can campaign on. Okay? And isn't it always easier for the opposition, guys? You oppose. Because most people are not listening to anything solid. They just want to hear the criticisms. So Lisa was fought out and she's going to stay out. Or until they ask her to come back. At this late stage, I don't think the PNP would win no matter who comes forth. No, I'm not saying win now. I'm saying if the PNP loses the next election, who is a viable person to lead the party? Would Hannah be able to step in and get rid of the next cycle? Somebody, please tell me about Bunting. I know very little about him. Could you tell me something about Mr. Bunting? Who is he? Where is he from? What's his claim to fame? Let me know. It's now, 10:59, almost 11 o'clock. We've been on for an hour and a half. Anybody else wants to call before we call it a night? But like I said, next week, I want to delve into that whole St. Mary thing. I want to delve into that whole, every constituency in St. Mary. I'm going to advertise this all week, talk it up all week. So we can have people coming in, especially from the most beautiful parish in the country, St. Mary. Have people coming in and, giving their 2 cents. What's happening in Gale, in Rockabessa, in Onoto Bay, Highgate, Hampstead, all over the place. We want to know how these guys are doing. And Elliot Chiroy, what that has caused a massive split in the PNP. This man never writes PNP. PNP, okay. So Wang is saying Hannah would have been a good leader. Hannah would have, okay, they damage her so much that she does not have the political stock that would allow her to manage the party. But you think if they lose, they would, hey, maybe they'd have to swallow their pride and, put her in. But how is it that nobody else is on the horizon? I thought that Dreadlocks guy was one of their rising stars. What's his name? Damian Crawford. What do you guys think about Mr. Crawford? I thought he was a rising star. Who is that talking about? Portland being? No, I said the most beautiful parish in the country. That's St. Mary, bar none. End of discussion right there. Bunting and Golden, Finsack beneficiaries, Wealth Limited. Okay. And LV. No, I didn't get a chance to hear Mr. Julian Robinson. I gotta go see if I can find that YouTube video. I gotta see if I can find that YouTube video. But like I said, next week we're gonna be delving into the whole set mirror thing. So guys, see if you can have your figures, facts ready as we look into each section. Who would the winners be? Who are the projected winners? Who would the losers be in St. Mary? Because I really want to find out what's going on there with like Montague, Dunn, and all these guys. Mm-hmm. And somebody saying Damien is a PNP. Come around. G-Roy, explain that for me, G-Roy. Come on, explain that. Explain that. Oh, Erica is Bunting is from Manchester. No, Minister of Security at one time. Lost his seat to it's a Crawford. It's part of the Golden Finance. Okay, Finsack, Goro. Okay, Mr. Bunting. Mm-hmm. Yes, G. Roy. Explain that, G. Roy. Explain that. Erica, Miss Barnett. Erica, could you just shoot me an email here, please? Let me put my email in. Just shoot me an email, please. Okay. So, Mr. Elville, thanks for coming on, man. Next week, I want to hear your voice, bro. Okay. But then texting next week. But then the comment business next week. I want to hear your voice, right? I am stammer. Moses was stammer. Little stammer now. Not going to affect you, right? So, let me put it this way. Erica, see, I put an email in there. Just shoot me something and then we'll get to talking. So, guys, past my bedtime now, and I want to thank you all for coming on. I want to thank you all for participating, those who called in, those who just texted in. No problem with that. You're putting all your comments in. So, put the phone number up. Yes, Mr. Wong, it's up on the screen. Let me say, put it again. Yes, sir. That's the WhatsApp number right there. That's the WhatsApp number right there. WhatsApp. I'm gonna have another number there too. It's a Google Voice number. If you're in the States and you want to use the Google Voice number, here it is. 47479-8517. Yep, here is the Google Voice number. Okay, They only use Damien to hype up the crowd at meetings. They keep moving. They keep moving around. Okay. All right. So he's a hype man. All right. Okay. Good. Hype man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call it quits for tonight. Thank you all for coming on, and have a great rest of the weekend. Please be safe. Next week we're trying to get this whole thing about St. Mary. So Cornell LV saying, okay, done that. And he's back onto this thing, Bobby no shabby. Okay, so yeah, Bobby hype man. All right. All right, guys. Take care. Have a nice rest of the weekend. Those who can, if it's a part of your life, go to church tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Garfield Waller.